I'm enjoying it.
The Sports Blitz.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want because you're an Alabama fan.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Time it is. You hear the sound. It is Friday here at the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're happy and excited. We finally made it to the weekend, baby, and we are ecstatic in the house and the studio. Having some fun. So either way, good to have you here. And as always, on Fridays, we've got Jeffrey in the house. How you doing, Jeffrey?
Doing good. It's a weird day.
It is a weird day. It's a weird day because you're wearing a University of Kentucky shirt in the house. What's the deal?
Well, maybe they're just going to beat Georgia. Maybe I'll just give them some gree-gree.
Whoa.
Some good gree-gree, though, you know.
Some what?
Some luck. Gree-gree.
I've never heard of that.
Superstitious?
Never heard of gree-gree.
Yeah, actually, you probably might go back to voodoo.
Oh, it's Louisiana coming out in you. So you're a Cajun Kentucky fan today is what you're telling me.
I'm a Cajun Kentucky fan today. Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know, I'm not knocking Georgia and all that, but it'd be nice to little shake it up, right?
No.
SEC needs a little shaking up?
It's not going to happen.
No?
No, not even close.
Oh, then it's going to be Vandy then. Oh, no.
Man. Wow, shots fired.
Call her in. Somebody's calling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
really.
It's me. Answer the phone.
Click.
But anyway, we got Bobby Stavos here with CBC Construction in the building. How you doing, Bobby?
Doing good, Mr. Paul. Good to see you again.
Oh, man, good to have you today. And on the ones and the twos, Big Dog Bone Crusher crushing it. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
Scotch. I love Scotch. Scotch. I love Scotch.
You know, one day it's like he's on a diet, and then what was the other day? He was on something another. Now he's
drunk.
Man, it ain't the Ryder Cup. It's got him drunk.
It's true. Oh, my gosh. But we're having a great time. We're excited. Don't forget, you can call in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're going to be discussing all things football today, so a little bit of baseball as well. But we have Bobby in here with us. Bobby, this is a pretty big game for these Miami Hurricanes. There's been a lot of trash talking going on. There's been a lot of, talking about the past. It's talking about the legendary coaches around this time. You know, Bobby Bowden begins to be talked about. Jimmy Johnson begins to be talked about. I mean, even Howard Schnellenberger gets to be talked about. I mean,
Larry Coker.
Who else?
Dennis Erickson.
Oh,
yeah, they had some coaches, man.
Butch Jones.
Butch Jones, yeah.
Oh, man, old Butch. Yep. He went to North Carolina, too, and it didn't work out so well there either. So,
But you gotta wonder if North Carolina's like a retirement home for coaches.
Yeah. I mean,
It's thinking that way.
Because Mac Brown went back there after he had already been there and in Texas.
Yeah.
He was at Tulane back in the 80s.
And then Larry Fedora went over there, did nothing. Mm-hmm. And now Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, yeah.
So who knows?
Rough.
So what do you think? What do you think about these Hurricanes coming into this game? Now, are we going to see the Florida State team at Doak like we saw them against Alabama? Now, you were at that game.
I was there.
So you know exactly how loud it was. You know exactly how electrifying the fans were. And there is not going to be any different this Saturday.
If not worse. I think that, like you said, when we were there, that was the most rowdy I've been in a football stadium before. And the crowd split was easy, probably 70-30, Florida State. But like you said, there's a lot of history with this game. And unfortunately, history is all Miami has to talk about. They haven't done anything present. But we are playing good ball right now. But like you said, I think the atmosphere is going to be electric. And they're definitely going to have their eyes zoned in to make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be who can run the football. I just do. I think even though we're in a different state of college football where it's the pass first and all these explosive plays, who's going to be able to get 3rd and 3s all day long? Who's going to be getting 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2? Who's going to be able to convert on the 3rd downs? And, as well as I do, if you can't stop Gus Malzahn from running the football, it's going to be a trouble day because he's going to have you in his back pocket on knowing what is coming around with the trickery. Why are you smiling?
No, I was just thinking that, Miami basketball made the Final Four like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking the Gators have made the championship for baseball a couple of times, won it once, recent years and all, and haven't won football since 2008.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about the Seminoles have had good teams in other sports and all that. So out of the 3 schools, Florida State, Florida, and Miami, nobody has won in football in 12 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is the biggest drought since I've been alive.
That's with Jameis Winston and Jimbo Fisher, right?
Yep. 12 years since these 3 schools have won a title in football. And that's pretty staggering.
Yeah, and to think that, the talent that is in the state of Florida having to be split up not only with your Alabama, Georgias, and other schools, but you're talking, these 3 schools are the main 3 schools. USF just kind of gets the scraps from the table.
Central usually, UCF usually gets more than South Florida does, really.
Yeah.
And look at the running back that went to Boise last year.
Yeah.
He's from Jacksonville.
Well, yeah, but his dad was a military guy, so they moved a lot.
Yeah.
So he didn't it wasn't just from Jacksonville. But yeah,
True.
You're exactly right.
I mean, the IMG guys, we can't count those guys because they're from everywhere.
Well, yeah, and that's where, when you look at
LSU's gotten their fair share. I'd say most years.
Fair share of what?
Of Florida recruits. Believe it or not. No, you look at the roster.
Who?
You have to look at the roster. How many players they get? No, seriously.
Can you name 2?
No, I don't really know where all the LSU guys are from.
They're usually from Louisiana.
No, it's probably around the 70 percentile from Louisiana. And there's been times where the second most is from Texas, and then
Arkansas.
No, not at all.
They don't get Arkansas kids.
No, we don't get Arkansas. We get more Mississippi kids than we do Arkansas any day, every year. But no, Florida. There's some years where Florida is the second state more than Texas.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. It's speed. And half the time it's Miami wide receivers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we like to get some speed from.
When you look at this year's team compared to last year's team, we talked about it last week, and everybody would like to say, oh, well, it's Cam Ward and Carson Beck and kind of but it's different. This year's team seems stronger. This team seems more confident. This team seems like they know what they're doing more than last year. It seemed like Cam Ward would navigate during the games and put people where they needed to go. Mm-hmm. And it seems like Carson Beck doesn't have to do that as much. Now, he does provide the leadership, but this team seems to be more ready, built better than the last year's team. Do you agree with that?
I think so. Like you said, like we touched on last week, I think it starts in the trenches, being tough up front, and knowing that Carson's legs aren't what Cam's are. And I think that's also going to be a deciding factor in the game. Florida State's defense is going to be tough. And one thing, like you mentioned, Alabama game and then the Virginia game, they're able to stop that pocket passing style quarterback. They wasn't able to stop that rushing attack quarterback from Virginia. So I think that's what's going to be the decision maker is the defensive line.
Yeah, and those things it's so crazy because you do match up well with different teams, even if that team's better, if that makes sense. And then sometimes you just don't match up well with something that somebody throws at you, like a running quarterback, so to speak. But when you look at Carson Beck, he has not really moved out of the pocket much at all. Now, he does have one rushing touchdown on the year, but for the year, he's 972 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. And he's really, we talked to Joe Sadecki early in the season before it even started, and he said the ball was coming out of his hand better than he's ever seen before. And I just think, if he can hit big early, That's going to be the key for Miami moving forward for this game. I think if they can get ahead, I don't think Florida State's built to come from behind. I don't. No Gus Malzahn team has ever been built from come from behind team. Like I'm saying, like 10 points, 14 points, 14-0, that kind of thing, 14-3. Those type of scores, Gus doesn't do well in those where he feels like he's got to pass. And then I believe like making sure that Tommy Castellanos is a little uncomfortable back there, meaning that he's going to have to not just run the football, but he's going to have to throw it. And, that's really the key to me for having Miami being able to impose its will on them, because they are more physical this year than they were last year. You saw last year's team; they got pushed around a little bit in the trenches.
Yeah,
they did.
I agree.
And but this year, whether it is because they know they've got they don't have somebody that's going to be very fluid back there, that he's just he's doing his reads, and he's got about 4 seconds to get rid of the football. But the thing is that realistically, he hasn't had a lot of sacks.
No, he seems like he's got plenty of time back there too. And like you said, I think anytime you can open up that that passing threat, just opens up that run game.
Yeah, and so speaking of the run game, Mark Fletcher, he's got 66 carries, 388 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, and then Charmar Brown, he's 49 and 206 with 4 touchdowns. So they've got 10 rushing touchdowns. When you look at their running backs, they've got 5 and 4, and then Beck's got 1. So they've got 10 rushing touchdowns. So this Miami team, although they've been kind of categorized as a passing team, it looks like they're using the pass to open up the run. And I mean, when you look at it, that's a good recipe as far as in this kind of college football that we play right now, because when you play this kind of style of football, it's more like a pro set. You still got to be able to hand the ball off on first downs and get 3 to 4 yards so that you can get, your short third down conversions. And so, I mean, wouldn't you agree with that? That's going to be the key to this one.
Absolutely, not getting penalized.
Yeah. The penalties.
That's a killer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many teams they get 3 yards, 4 yards on the first down, and then they get penalized, and they're right back behind the 8 ball where they got to pass it, and sometimes pass it more than 10 yards.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Isn't that sad? That's what we always used to do. Now it's like all these 6 and out, 7 and out pass plays out in the flat all day long.
So I was just told that Jordan Lyle will return for this one, so Brown won't play as much. So Jordan Lyle and Trader is back as well. So those 2 players, which is going to be huge. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, JoJo's going to be huge having him back. I didn't realize he was back already. I saw earlier he was listed as doubtful. So
yeah. So if those 2 kids come back, then you're looking at that. I just don't see. I mean, the crowds are going to be rambunctious. It's going to be loud. You might get a false start here or there, but as long as they keep the ball moving and don't get behind the sticks, I mean, we're looking at a really good deal. But then you look at it and you got Malachi Toney with 22 catches for 268 yards and a touchdown. And then C.J. Daniels has been the touchdown king as far as the wide receiver core. 18 catches, 191 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jeff, like when yesterday we were talking about the Florida-Texas game.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about how bad both of those teams were on third down.
Oh, yeah.
Well, check this out. With Miami this year, 23 of 46 on third down, so they're 50%.
Yeah.
They're 50% on their third downs, which is pretty good. We remember.
Really good.
Yeah, remember yesterday we were
30.9.
They were 30.9, like almost 29% on third downs. That's a recipe for losses.
Yeah.
Third down percentages usually indicate whether or not you're winning or losing football games, because what happens with the third downs is that you get, obviously you don't score, but then also you put your defense in a bad situation going 3 and out, then become the Jalen Hurts of Alabama football. And so when you look at it, that is what this game is going to be about. It's going to be about the third down conversions. And then obviously they're 4 and 6 on fourth down, so they haven't had to go for it as much because they, seemingly are getting their third downs half the time. So, I mean, when you look at this game, I don't see anything that points towards Florida State being able to stay with them outside of crowd noise and Carson Beck just kind of looking bad, which we haven't seen yet. That's the kicker. Because in times past, Carson Beck has had his moments where he hasn't looked so good. Does that scare you a little bit that he hasn't had that yet?
It does, and like you said, this is going to be the busiest, craziest atmosphere he's going to have to play in for Miami. Has he been there before with Alabama and LSU, et cetera? Absolutely, and that's where I think it's going to benefit Miami is having that experience and being in those rough crowds. Especially, I mean, if you can go into Tuscaloosa and play, you can go into Baton Rouge and play. Going to Tallahassee is just don't get me wrong, it's going to be loud, it's going to be crazy, but if you can go to those two places and play football, you can go to Tallahassee.
Yeah, and if you go to LSU where they got voodoo dolls and all that kind of stuff, when he's talking about
You don't even know
voodoo.
what Gree is until he runs into it.
Yeah, right. A little gree in the house. I don't even know what that is. It's scaring me right now.
Yeah, a little dark like your shirt.
No, stay away from me. So anyway, when you look at it, you gotta know that Castellanos is going to play his game. He's 45 of 70. 848 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks though. So he's when he's put in uncomfortable situations, he's been known to throw a pick or two, and then he's had 41 carries, 217 yards with 4 touchdowns as well.
What? Wow.
Yeah, so I mean he's running the football. So I mean their other leading rusher has had 42 carries.
One more carry
Than Tommy Castellanos, but that's Gus Malzahn. Remember, I mean, I told you at the beginning, whenever Gus has his style of quarterback, he's a running back that can throw.
Yeah.
I mean, forever and a day, they've been talking about who he reminds everybody of. And I'm telling you, he looks just like Nick Marshall. He's exactly like him because Nick Marshall was a smaller guy. He eventually went to the NFL and played cornerback for a little while for like the Panthers or somebody. But other than that, Castellanos is a smaller guy. He's going to run the football. And the thing is that, are you going to let him get outside the pocket? Are they going to contain him? That's the biggest question on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, that's really where it's at. And obviously, you got Reuben Bain, 11 tackles, 2 sacks. I mean, are they going to be able to block him? I know they're going to double him. They're going to run away from him. They're going to, I wouldn't be surprised, and let's go ahead and put this on the bingo card for Saturday, that they're going to get a chop block on the offense against Florida State because somebody's going low and somebody's going high because the guy's going to be unblockable. Have you watched him play?
Yeah, those guys are nuts.
He's good.
Yeah.
Bain and Mesidor, I think that's what you were talking about, Castellanos scrambling. I don't think he's seen, and I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong by any means. Alabama's defense has always been incredible, but between Bain and Mesidor, he better be careful going outside this weekend.
Yeah.
What's scary is the size and then the speed.
Yeah.
If you ever see it in person, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on that
Size
field.
and speed, yeah. Well, and I'm just going to tell you, we got a Facebook comment that says Miami hasn't played anyone to test them yet. So that's a Florida
that's
State
complete
fan.
bull. Who is this, Chris?
No, that's not Chris. Chris is a Miami fan.
Yeah, no, there's another Chris, too.
Yeah, no, not Chris.
That's
not that Chris.
Absolutely insane. Okay, apples to apples, apples to oranges. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Miami Hurricanes did not play Notre Dame last year. Mm-hmm. Okay, they did not play South Florida last year.
Right.
Okay, and South Florida beat 2 teams that are above average, we'll say, in Boise State and the Florida Gators. I'll say the Gators are they're above average for FCS.
At the time that they played, Florida was still a good team. Right.
They weren't broken.
They were still a good team.
Yeah, but that was the beginning of them getting broke.
Right.
But the only difference I think that's down for Miami is I believe they put 41 on the Gators last year. This year they put 26. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that the Hurricanes have done less than last year. So the out-of-conference schedule's tougher. Their resume is going to be tougher. They haven't lost a game. They lost 2 games at the end of the year last year. Their resume, as long as Notre Dame doesn't completely fold, their strength of schedule is going to be definitely better than last year. A 10-2 is going to get them in.
Well, and Notre Dame is not playing anybody for the rest of the year. I mean, they got Boise this weekend.
Yeah, they got Boise this weekend. They have USC. Stanford's really not any good. And there was one other team on there that I was kind of like, oh, wow, they are actually not too bad of a schedule. But,
it's pretty bad.
It's 2 losing teams. That's all they play for the rest of the year.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
2 losing teams.
So really, when they keep winning, it's just going to help Miami's resume.
And you know what? And he's coming from an LSU guy where our strength of schedule is going in the toilet because South Carolina, Arkansas, these teams are folding. Clemson, folding.
Yeah.
You know what's the one team that has helped us in the strength of schedule? And I'm mad now. You know who it is? You would not ever guess in your whole life.
Your Kentucky Wildcats.
Louisiana Tech is 4-1. They lost to LSU 23-7 and has not lost a single other game.
Really?
Louisiana Tech. That's insane.
Yeah, they're going to end
They're
up
the
having
team that's helping us in strength of schedule.
They're going to have a better record than Clemson.
Absolutely.
Watch,
Yeah,
they will.
They could win the Conference USA. I'm not saying they will, but they could.
Yeah. And 23-7 against LSU is not bad because they were still at their
Yeah.
their
Oh,
peak.
absolutely.
That was LSU at their peak. That was when Nussmeier was being talked about being a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
You know what? I love you in blue. You have more passion today. So you know what? Wherever you got that shirt, bring the UK in here. The gree-gree, let the gree-gree flow.
No, isn't that crazy? Louisiana
Yeah, it
Tech
is
has
very
helped
crazy.
LSU in strength of schedule because the Gators definitely ain't doing it.
No, they're not going to do it.
No.
This year.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question now. We got two quarterbacks that we keep on talking about, right? Carson Beck and
Tommy
Castellanos.
Castellanos. Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins this game has benefited the most from the transfer portal of any team in all of college football. You can't name another quarterback that's benefited from transferring this last year.
Well, Miami is definitely
More than
benefiting
one,
from the
whoever
portal.
wins the game this weekend.
Yeah.
It depends on
Castellanos, we would not know his name if he was at Boston College. We would not be talking about this guy. Carson Beck, if he wins this game and he's undefeated at Miami and Georgia's already got a loss, come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't name me another person.
Well, I can, but it's gonna happen.
Okay, Fernando Mendoza
No.
at Indiana, maybe.
No, I don't even think him
Who?
yet. The only other one is Pribula from Missouri, depending on how they do.
Yeah.
Pribula, if they can.
So this is his first year there?
Yeah, his first year there. If he
okay.
can run the table there, but see, not yet though.
Not yet. Not
So
yet.
he,
Yeah.
what did they all say is something you got to let it bake.
So
or
that's
something.
that's how important this win is.
Can we say that this win this weekend is possibly gonna put the other one ahead of that one to go to New York at the end of the season if they both continue to win?
Yes.
Possibly, but the downside is they're going to turn around and play each other again before they get there for the
Unless Georgia Tech sneaks in.
Georgia Tech's always that scary team for us.
Yeah. It's
And
their
Georgia
wild
Tech
card.
doesn't play anybody.
No,
they don't
we
have
We
Miami.
don't play Georgia Tech this year, actually.
They don't play Florida State either.
Yeah.
All they've got is Clemson and Louisville. That's it. So
And then so now if Florida State, who's already lost to Virginia, loses this game, that's two losses. Georgia Tech or Louisville will slip in there. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. But I've been wrong before because let me tell you, last year, it was a plethora of upsets last year. It was crazy. Everybody's knocking everybody off.
Well, let me read some comments real quick. Miami hasn't played anyone to test them. I read that. Notre Dame is overrated. They get ranked when they should not.
You're right.
Notre Dame would beat Florida State by 20, somebody else said.
Notre Dame beat Florida State by 20?
That's what somebody else said. And then somebody
Wow,
said.
I don't think so,
And
no.
then Christopher Multiconte said, after we beat FSU, y'all will say we haven't been tested. And
Who's
then,
y'all? Ain't me. I'm not the one saying that.
and then a last name of Stavos says, hey, roll Tide and go Canes. So there you go.
What kind of mixed up is that?
That's my wife.
It's like, what's she drinking? I'll have some.
Probably the same stuff Bone Crusher's drinking.
Yeah.
But either way, real quick, Bobby, tell us about CBC Construction, what you do over there, what you guys do, and, some things that y'all have going on right now that everybody can see in the city.
Yeah, so like we talked about, CBC, we're, underground roadway, excuse me. CBC is a really tight-knit family. So like this weekend, CBC does a lot of things to give back. We have a concert going in tonight at Sweet Bay. Following from 6 to 8, following the concert, we have a drone show if the wind can stay down.
Yes.
I forgot about
200
that.
drones
Yep.
Oh my
tonight
God. I totally
at Sweet Bay.
I totally
Yes.
knew about that and forgot about it. Thanks for reminding me.
Be there.
8 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they've got VIP still
VIP
available.
still available.
You can go and I think you got some food that they'll be having.
Redfish is there setting up, Coke's there setting up, and
Yes.
it'll be a good time.
A big deal tonight. As long as the wind can stay down. We wondered about the
yeah.
wind.
Yeah, it's been picking
and
up
CBC
all
is
day.
sponsoring that, correct?
CBC sponsors it. Yeah, Maharajas. I'm gonna leave out some Dewberry. There's a bunch of them. You'll see them posted
So I drive up 390 and hang a left at Sweet Bay?
Hang a left right there at Publix, you'll dead into the water down there.
Oh, okay. That's where it's at. They're building all those apartments up in there, one after another after another.
Hey, that's with everything.
Yeah. Do y'all build roads?
Yeah, we do the roadways, do the underground utilities. Yes, sir.
Those little reflector things, could you not put them so many? I hate those dang things.
Yeah, I mean, so they do it all. So if you got a subdivision, all the road work in the subdivision, that's them doing that. And they did Tommy Oliver Stadium.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's a big outfit, and they do a really good job. And so, all right, so we're about to have to take our first break. Bobby, what's the score going to be, my man? And we're going to hold you to this now.
And I'll give you a little, well, not a hint, but
hold on,
Florida, no,
time out.
No,
he thinks because he's winning by two games, he can give everybody hints on who to pick.
Actually, it's not mine. It's Taylor
Devers.
Yeah, Taylor Devers.
Florida State.
Florida State, 38-35.
Florida State, 38-35.
Yeah, and I think it's a little high score, and I don't think Seminoles are going to put no 38 on them.
No.
Come on.
I'm going to roll, let's say, 35-21, Miami.
35-21.
Wow. That's a
lot. Hey, no field goals.
No field goals. It's going to be windy.
Unless they have a 2-point conversion.
It's going to be windy. It might be a little overcast. So
field goals are all them third downs.
Yeah, field goals are going to go wide right and wide left, like they used to.
Night game.
It's going to be a little rainy, I think. It's going to be a good one. Last time I was in Tallahassee, it was 0-2, 01-02, something like that. It rained the entire game.
Oh, wow.
Roscoe Parrish got killed and had to get carted off by an ambulance. It was not necessarily killed, but he got drilled. It was a fun game.
Let me tell you what I had. I had an experience one time in the late 80s, and LSU was busy started winning SEC championships again because Bear Bryant had retired.
Yeah.
And we had season tickets, and I was like third, maybe probably fourth year into us having LSU season tickets. And the Miami Hurricanes came into town, number 1. And I was like, oh, my God. We only had 2 tickets, and most of the time I went with my dad. My dad took my mom. And I was like expecting to go with my dad because Miami's number 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I was a teenager that was severely disappointed. I was like upset.
Were you mad at your mom or your dad?
I was mad at my dad for saying he's going to take my mom. And then you know what happened? Torrential downpour of rain in Baton Rouge. And it was miserable. And I think Miami won that game like 41-3. They just killed LSU. Just killed them.
Well, we've got some scores here. Dusty Stavos says it's going to be 36-28 Miami. Jack Patterson says 28-24 Florida State. So, we got a little bit of controversy on who's going to win this one. And so, Jeff, did you already pick that one? What did you say? What was your score on that?
I think I said 30-20.
Okay.
Not Miami.
Yeah.
30-20.
I think I went Miami as well. I thought I said 28-17. I think that's what I said.
That sounds about right.
I think that's what it's going to be.
You always tend to go a little lower than I do.
Yeah.
On the scores. But you know what? I mean, you were right. Oh, that was the Florida State Virginia game. You were closest than anybody.
Yeah. So, but either way, well, Bobby, we appreciate you being here. We're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit about this Major League Baseball that's going on. Something about playoffs. Oh, yeah. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.